It's time for Too Many Angles.
So Mr. Kawhi Leonard is the real MVP, and to prove that, we are covering all the angles. Shout out to Dunkface on the end, producer of The Jump, coming over to the dark side. That's what I like to see. All right, D, what do you got?
Should Kawhi win MVP even if Westbrook averages a triple-double?
Well,
I'll lead it off.
Okay, go.
Hell to the nah. This dude is doing something that I know none of us on this set was alive to see before.
Fair.
That's real.
And those who were alive watching the show, we only seen it once.
We need a different award.
You would have to give credit to the degree of difficulty this dude is doing. Pretty much the most difficult feat in basketball.
But he will be, if you know, he'll be out of the playoffs before you know it.
He'll be in the playoffs.
The regular season award, though.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. We almost need to reevaluate because
Stop
if
changing
we,
the rules.
Well, no, but if we're going to reward him for a feat, a historical feat, but ultimately it's not going to matter because they won't be celebrating a championship or anything close to that, then I do feel like there's a different award to be made here. I just don't know what.
I mean, he'll be like first team All NBA. Look, the reality is that they have 35 wins right now. The chances of them getting 50 are very slim, and 50 is usually a good barometer. The other barometer, hosting a playoff game. They're not going to do either, and so I can see why people think, well, even if you average a triple-double, have you done enough to elevate your team's performance in order to validate this award?
I love Russell Westbrook. You know this, but I do think that I say it. I text you every morning. I love Russell Westbrook. But I do think that this argument should be because I think all season long since this started, we've all just been sort of like, no, Russell's going to win.
Well,
but I don't think it should be a given.
LZ gave normal criteria for abnormal feat, which is averaging a triple-double. That's why you got to throw everything you said out, because this is not normal.
Proverbially, I would say the same thing.
Proverbially.
Does playing for the Spurs hurt Kawhi's star power?
Excuse me?
Ooh.
I'm not even going to.
You
I'm
know
not
it's
even
true.
going to address.
That's why you can't say it, because it's two bullseye.
Why? Because it's a small market.
Keep going.
That's not only
That's the only reason.
20 straight seasons in the playoffs since Popovich took
That's
on
not the question.
That's not it.
Oh, because it's not sexy?
Look, Oklahoma City's a small market.
Thank you.
That
Then
dude
what is it?
Oklahoma City is a small
Then
market.
what's the answer here?
The answer is because the Spurs actively try to make you not be.
That's right.
They want to suppress personality,
No,
and it works.
It's not that they want to suppress
Spurs like an
personality.
NFL team, really.
Yeah, they're like the Patriots, like where they're like bring that down a notch, and the Patriots still let it kind of seep through.
Yeah.
Like you see
Yeah, you have
element
like
here
a
and there.
Gronk.
Yeah, you get a Gronk, but not on the Spurs.
But I don't think they're actively doing that. I don't think there's a meeting where they're like, guys, we need you to all tone it down.
But
No.
there's a
culture.
Kawhi is Kawhi.
There is definitely a culture, but there's also a personality. And Duncan and Robinson and Kawhi all
Same
have
class.
very similar sort of personalities as well. They don't try to draw attention to themselves, even in the offseason. So it's the reason why.
But when Steven Jackson was there, I've never seen a player get cut in the playoffs. And that happened there. And look, I don't know the reasons.
But he still loves pop. He still
Oh, of course.
Pop.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but they keep you in this bubble. And if you don't already naturally fit there, they'll try to.
Because it's a team sport, and I think they emphasize that. I don't think that's.
The question is, does playing for the Spurs hurt the star power? The answer is yes.
No. Got it.
The answer is yes.
Next.
The answer is yes.
Is it weird that Kawhi had a random drug test after making game-winning plays?
This was kind of a funny. I thought it was a joke at first, but yeah, apparently last night he was selected for a random drug test right after the game, which, according to many, is not the normal timing for this. Bizarre?
Well, as someone who covers different sports, not that bizarre, because especially in tennis, you can literally walk off the Grand Slam championship and they're waiting for you right there at the door. Like, let's test you out. So I mean, if it happens in other sports, obviously it happens in the NBA.
It's almost like they're saying, man, you're almost too good. They couldn't have done that by
As a
themselves.
victim of random screenings.
Oh. TSA?
Let's not get
I didn't say any names.
We're going to lose subscribers if you keep doing this.
I'm just
Stop being
You
political.
think it's fair? Well, it happens to, they say NBA players 4 times a year.
Right.
So it has to happen at some time.
It's funny timing.
Yeah,
Like
coincidentally.
you just
usually
did
it's not
that.
after a game. Usually it can, but usually
Right.
it's not.
I mean, that's a good time to do it, if any.
That's a reason to be MVP. You're so good, they had to test you for drugs.
That's what I'm saying. You're like superheroes.
The steroid man, like, not today. I saw that performance.
Those same drugs, I didn't do that.
Could happen. Oh, man. Next. Oh, no, we still have time.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm taking over. I just got a text from James Harden.
Oh.
Should he be offended by all this Kawhi love today?
I almost made a really mean joke. He is putting up historic numbers. There's your graphic to prove to you in case you were doubting any of that. Creating more points per game than anyone in the last 40 years. But
What do you mean,
as
but?
we've been
There's
discussing.
a but after that?
Well, because, again, like we've been talking about, until the cows come home,
The cows.
the two-way thing should not be specified as if it's some unicorn-like quality. And in fact, if it is that, it should be counted more than these types of numbers that we keep talking about.
Well, there's two things when you put up that chart. One is that we're in the age of three-point shooting. So the three-point shooting, being that close to Tiny Nate, no, imagine how many points he would have been averaging.
Verbally?
I was going to go there. I was like, don't do that. But then there's also the fact that you're playing in Mike D'Antoni's system. And Mike D'Antoni's system just inflates everyone's numbers offensively. They were even great in New York before they blew up the team to bring in Carmelo Anthony. Remember, they were talking about Amari Stoudemire being MVP. He was playing that well in Mike D'Antoni's system. So, I mean, part of that goes with the fact that Mike's got you running the ball up and down the court.
I mean,
and we're in the
they've specifically told the world our plan is to shoot 1 billion threes.
Right. Yeah.
Why would you hold that against them like that's
I agree with that.
Why are we holding the fact that Kawhi Leonard plays defense?
We're not holding it against them. We're just making sure we put things in historical context.
Buzzer sound.
He has the greenest light in the NBA, and he's taking full advantage of it. Can't demerit him for that.
Next.
Why hasn't anyone mentioned LeBron James?
I did.
LeBron James.
I did.
All right, graphic time. Oh, do you want a cookie, LZ? You keep saying I did?
No.
I did.
You know what? Fine. Fine, LZ. Why aren't the rest of us talking about him as much since
I don't
you're
know,
the one?
because I keep mentioning his name. They're 0-4 this season when he does not play. They still have 2 more All-Stars on the team, and they still can't win when LeBron James does not play. They've been in the finals the last 2 years. They can't win when LeBron James does not play. What does that mean? He's MVP.
Well, we've all established that we take LeBron James for granted.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because this conversation is every year, and every year we just assume that LeBron James is
Well, the MVP is a traveling trophy. It gets the most touches in the league. They want it to go to different great guys, emerging stars. That said, I go back to what Coach told us. Don't get bored with success. And I think as voters...
Was he wearing cleats when he said it?
No, he wasn't. That's why we didn't take it in. But if he had cleats on, we would believe him. But in reality, that's what voters are doing. They're bored with success. Jordan,
I believe
Kobe
it.
only won MVP. It's because you just get bored with that success.
This dude is averaging like 26 points a game, like 56% shooting.
Insane.
It is. I agree with you.
Insane.
He's having a great line, but at the end of the day, that dude's averaging a triple-double, man. Like I'm gonna keep coming back to that. That man is averaging a triple-double.
So if he gets down to 9.9 assists a game, it's over.
Oh.
I would say 9.8.
All right.
9.9, I'll round up.
I'll take a LeBron burrito, a large.
LeBron burrito. Next.
No one knows what a LeBron burrito is.
Nobody does.
Marcellus!
Yes.
Will the Clippers ever have a player as good as Kawhi?
No,
Well,
for real,
wait, Marcellus.
the bias is going too far.
Reminder, Kawhi
What?
is a champion. He's a finals MVP. He's a 2-time defensive player of the year.
past the second round.
You guys have Austin Rivers.
What does that mean?
I just want to remember. I want you to make sure you remember that. Talk to me.
Will we have a player as good as Kawhi? I think historically, and Kawhi continues his trajectory, and Chris Paul just continues who he is and then eventually falls off and retires, Chris Paul will be ranked higher historically than Kawhi Leonard.
Wait.
Oh, how did that feel? And so guess what?
sorry,
You
wait.
trying to say Kawhi Leonard historically is a better player than Chris Paul? I know they don't have the same amount of years.
At this point, no.
Wait, what did you just
That's
say?
my point. That's my point.
Wait, but this, do
Kawhi Leonard-
it again.
I
If
will-
Kawhi
the trajectory of
plateaus,
No, keep his trajectory.
Oh, keep going.
Wherever that's going to end, and he just becomes
the roof is the ceiling, technically.
Exactly.
So with this
I
guy-
think I make a case that Chris Paul historically will be higher regarded than Kawhi Leonard.
By whom? You and a couple of your friends?
I'm just saying Chris Paul is going down as what?
You and Clipper Darrell?
Is Chris
Wait,
Paul
Chris
top
Paul.
3 point guard ever?
No.
Top 5 for
Ever?
sure.
Yes.
Ever?
Top 5 for sure.
Top 10 for
Yeah,
sure.
it's a-
Yeah, top 10 for sure.
Top 10 for
But
sure.
There's a lot of great point guards, man.
So give me
Okay.
that
I get what you're saying,
Is
Marcel.
Kawhi
I'm just saying
the-
Kawhi's trajectory, if he keeps going like this.
Yeah, he'll get in the conversation where Chris Paul is
That's
already.
absurd.
You
By the way,
really
you
don't
said
believe
some
You're
stupid
right. At this
things
point
today.
right now, at this point, you're right. Chris Paul has the better
Oh,
career.
got the nod by far right now. I'm saying how much can Kawhi catch up? Historically, like Chris Paul is like one of the top 5 point guards ever. Y'all stop that.
Top 10.
All right, top
I know.
10.
You can't just say it and then pretend no one hears you.
You forgot about Magic, Jason Kidd, John
What do we
Stockton,
got?
Isaiah Thomas.
All right, guys. Surprise Kawhi sent Beetle a message. Take a listen.
Did he?
I sent him before, yeah.
Anything you would like to say?
Thanks for your support. You show a lot of love for the Spurs, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Did we just become best friends?
That's a proposal, actually.
Kawhi Leonard just slip it to
Are
your
we
DM.
best
Yeah,
friends?
Kawhi
Slip it to your
That's-
DM.
You translate that from Kawhi, that's actually a wedding proposal.
Right?
Kawhi,
Like in some world, like,
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
I think we're now bonded for life.
Proverbially, probably.
Probably, we are probably bonded.
He didn't say your name, and I was waiting for that
He
moment.
didn't have to. You could see it. Like I knew exactly who he was
You
talking
can't
to.
get a Valentine's card without your name and his name.
Oh, you think he just filmed a bunch of those from random people?
I
Maybe
think
he
it
did.
was.
Might
I
have
think it
done
was a stamp and repeat.
I'm going to confirm this, and we're going to find out in a
All we
minute.
know is for Amina. All we know. For Amina Hussein.
Rachel Nichols. It could have been everybody.
Guys,
Wow.
just because your team's lousy, you don't have to be mean to everybody else. Let us enjoy the day. We're out of angles. We have to
Put
take
that
a
for
break.
anybody.